Good morning, everyone. It is Thursday, October 7th. That's right, it is Throat Punch Thursday. Here's a look at our markets as we head into we're still in the pre-market here. So we're up over 280 points in the futures. Don't forget, this morning we have initial jobless claims, and tomorrow we have the employment status report, the labor status report, which is the monthly. It'll be interesting. I'll be interested in it tomorrow because it will be the first report that does not include the benefits, the extra benefits for unemployment. So those expired, and we'll get to see a better picture and maybe a better participation rate to get a just a better view of what's going on. Okay, so here in the pre-market, we drew in this trend line yesterday. We've used that. We're punching up right here. We are just above the 20, hitting the 34. So definitely some resistance right here. We also have the 50 ahead. Something we keep talking about is we come in and have some green days and then we don't have follow through. But the one thing that is consistent, we've used right along this fib line here at the 4,300 for some really good support. And that, of course, is not the SPY, that is the index. So in the SPY, that would correlate to about 430. Definitely a spot there that we need to keep an eye on if we do decide to pull back a bit. Overall, taking a nice little move. And again, watching for the follow through on this. Bitcoin, which did really well over the last few days, taking just a little bit of a break here, settling in just below that 55,000 mark. Overall, still a very good look in Bitcoin. The Qs deciding maybe they want to play along here. We have a 3-8 cross in progress. Don't forget, because these are the futures, these will go throughout the rest of the day. We'll see where this ends up at the end of the day. Definitely some headwinds coming up with the 20, 34, and that point of control line all coming together just ahead. But getting big tech to actually participate is crucial for the overall health of the market. And the Dow Jones. Dow Jones has a 3-8 20 cross. So those actually all have occurred. The 3-8 cross actually occurred yesterday. Coming in today, we're pulling ourselves nicely above the 20, right to that point of control line. Okay, so what are we watching today? So Netflix, okay, I'm in this already, has earnings coming up, but look at these monster moves, looking for some continuation. All-time highs were hit day before yesterday. We're just inside of that larger candle from Tuesday. So look at this big move up here, looking for a nice little target somewhere right around that 640, 645 area in Netflix. Like I said, I'm already in, but if you are not, I would take a look at those 645s and 650s. Remember, these are at all-time highs. Tesla's another one here. I know we talk about this a lot in the room. To me, it just looks like a box. We're trading in a box. Today is investor day, I believe, for Tesla. You might want to double check that, but I'm pretty sure today is investor day. See if we get some news out of that to push this up nicely here today. Still like these more for day trades versus swing trades. It is sitting at 790. I would take a look at those 800s. I think 800 is a pretty reasonable target here on any news. We know how quickly this one can move. All right, a few that we've talked about over the last several days, and that I scanned for later yesterday. I know I was gone because of Lexi. She is home again today, so I will be kind of in and out with her. But look at this bullish engulfing candle back here in ABNB. Still using these fib lines. Like this look up over the 20. Airbnb, I would take a look at the 170s. Snap had that big, right, had this big gap up and has just chopped around. Well, it still held pretty much most of that gap, which is really impressive. Every time we touch this fib line, we push back up. Huge squeeze right here on Snap above that 20 at 74, I'm going to say 74, 75. Really like the look in Snap here of the 75s, as long as, especially if we close above that. And we have earnings coming up as a catalyst. Marvel One that came up on our scan the other day, right, did pretty well. Look at this monster move that it had yesterday, right? Topping, looking for the continued breakout. We had an all-time high before settling in just below those previous all-time highs, but look at that volume that came into it. Really find this to be a super strong one here in the sector. 65s, November 65s for that one. Datadog, this is one that we've also talked about here. I really liked it the other day for a move, but didn't want to hold it overnight. Yesterday came in, settled back in right along some previous resistance here, but this one looks like it's really trying to prime. We have a beautiful squeeze going on it, so anything above yesterday's close, or depending on where it opens, above yesterday's high for a continued move. This was trading in that channel, but I want to go ahead and move this now. There you go. You can see a better look in that channel. Looking really nice here. Datadog, I would take a look at the 150s. So all of these are in November, the November 150s. Well, goodness. We traded this back in here. Look at these big candles it has. Oh my goodness. Buy now, pay later. Apparently that really is a thing. Anyway, we drew these fib lines in. We adjusted them yesterday, and look at, we settled right there near the 100% mark. Looking for today to come in and move through that, capture the 140, which is that next fib line. Approximate, doesn't have to be to the penny, but I would look at the affirm 135s here. Just big monster move, and look, and again built in tons of volume, kind of like the Marvel trade did, or not trade, but the Marvel chart. So take a look at that. There you go, net. We watched this one yesterday. Beautiful. Had the confirmed 3-8 cross, went up above the 20. I would take a look at these. There we go. Anything that comes through yesterday's close, punches through that trend line, and then really looking for a move above that high at 137.07 in net. I also like Pan W in this space, and Crowd. Crowd has a little bit more work to do with the moving averages up ahead, but this space again has been doing very, very well. So take a look at all of those. Maybe Okta is another one. This one's definitely a lot more beat up and has had some bear flags. We'll watch for the reversal on that bear flag. In Okta, Asana. So this one looks like it's trying for this gap fill here, but look at this beautiful 3-8 touch. We touched the 20, built in just a smidge more volume, not very much. When this thing gets going, it definitely keeps going. It stays on my watch list here. We've traded it a few times not that long ago, and this really has just performed so well. Waiting for the, when we were watching it here, we were waiting for a pullback. Had a pretty deep pullback here, but now set up nicely for the follow on Asana. And I would take a look at the 115s and Salesforce, bullish engulfing candle here. So that came up across that scan. And look at this really easy to identify stop period at resistance 275.25. Anything above that for a gap fill and continuation in CRM looks good. Energy sector, right? Energy sector continues to look really good. Take a look here. We had a nice little pullback, but take a look for continuation in XLE and financials. We can't ignore financials here. They have that high there, so I'm just pulling up the XLF. Take a look at the really strong names like Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan. Those names have been doing incredibly well here, and looking for continuation to break some recent highs. Some of them are at highs or have just broken them, so watch that for that continuation. As we look to interest rates being increased, things like that, that actually all lends to the financial sector performing better in the months to come. And energy, of course, as we get ready, we're in fall kind of. Weather starting to get colder, though that energy is the energy sector seems to heat up. Get it? Heat up because it's energy and we're heating our houses. And of course, we have all of the oil and gas issues to deal with now. Everything's more expensive. So anyway, take a look at energies and financials. Okay, that is it for me this morning. If you have any questions, reach out. HeatherC@GivingTrueTrading.com, and I hope to see you soon.